piloted, during the pilot, we just realized we fell in love with it. There's so many things that we like about it. I think the biggest thing we like about it is the sequential phonics program that it does let us go through. We like that it's able to fill in some of the gaps that we may not know that the children have. I've had a couple of kids come up to me and say, Miss Swearingen, I know how to do E consonant E now. It's so fantastic. So we really like that aspect of it. We like a lot of it. What are some of the things you like?
Well, we also do the RTI. We do the Tier 2 because we don't have a specialist pulling our kids, so first grade has to do our own tutoring sessions, and it's really fun when the kids can come say exactly what their problem is. Like, Miss Cromer, I'm having a hard time with the bossy R, the R-controlled vowels, and they go, can you help me with this? Like, I don't have to go, you need help with this. They tell me what they need help with.
Right.
Also, they love the mathematics of it because they see all the squares and they know exactly how many squares they have and how many they need, and they will count down. And in my class we do little celebrations. We get a woohoo for every tower, and then they get a dance party for every certificate. And so it's a really big deal, and it's not that one child is on the next level or level 4 and one kid's on level 1. It's that everyone's celebrating each other no matter what level they're on. It's
very motivating for the kids to be able to get to the next level. And while they're getting there, they're setting their own goals and understanding what it is they're trying to learn. It's fantastic.
And the teacher resources are really nice. There's there's a whole section of worksheets that I can send home and to the parents and go, hey, your kid's really having a hard time with short vowel sounds. Here's a packet of things you can work on with your kid. And the packets have cute drawings and stuff, so it's very approachable for the kids.
There are also specific lessons that are step-by-step that tell exactly how to teach a certain skill. So if we have volunteers coming into our room, it's scripted out for them, so it makes it easier on us. We'll be working with our group, and we can set aside a small group of kids with a parent volunteer, and it's scripted exactly what they need to say to help reinforce these skills. Another thing we love about it is our app on our iPhone. It tells us exactly where the kids are, who's needing help in which areas, instruction needed, who's had achievements in the last day, 2 days, week, 3 weeks. It just who's using it, who's not using it. It just tells us everything. And then, of course, our competitiveness. We get to compete against one another. Yeah. My kids are all in the green. Where are your kids? It's kind of fun. But I use this every morning when I come in. I check to see who has been having a hard time in a certain area. I can pull a small group quickly, reinforce a skill, or maybe even teach a skill that I didn't realize I hadn't taught yet. And it helps me out that way.
And I think a lot, like the DRA, our testing for reading, it shows how well they can read. I think Lexia also helps us fill in the gaps with their writing more because they can read the words, they can identify the words, but when they're having to build it and separate sounds in Lexia, it really tells us, oh, you can read a silent E, but you can't build a silent E word, so we need to work on that a little bit more.
And I think it's a great complement to our our phonics program that we have in place already. We can teach a skill, and then instead of having the kids sitting and doing worksheet after worksheet, it's reinforced on the computer with these skills. It's the same skills we're already teaching, just a better reinforcement. I have somebody on the computer every second of the day, and they're just rotating every 15 minutes. I set my timer, and I figure they're not missing anything in 15 minutes, and they're gaining a lot more on the computer. So we have a schedule every 15 minutes. The timer goes off, you choose a friend to take your place on the computer. So we started out with, at the beginning when we were piloting, just with the kids who were falling behind, and then realized it's a great reinforcer for the kids who are already even reading 3rd grade level. It helps to reinforce and fill in any gaps that we didn't know that they had.
And then we really like that the licenses is not for the machine, it's for who's on it at the moment. So our kids are able to use it at home when we're not at school, and a lot of them will do that so that they can be like, look. And I also let my kids see the progress monitoring that tells them the percentage they've completed.
Yes.
And they like even watching that number go up. They're like, oh,
Right.
I'm now at 98% or 3%. It's
Yes.
different than it was yesterday because I worked on it at home.
The kids love the graphs. We love the graphs. And I have a little boy who I sent the email link to his mom, and he's logged in, I think, 40-something hours. He's getting a lot. He started out in early kindergarten and now is already at the end of second grade, so it's working for him. And I also have put my son on just to test it out to see how it worked with him. He has Down syndrome and he reads pretty well, but I know that there are gaps that he's had in his phonics program. So he started on it and it put him in the middle of kinder level, and he's working his way up and he is proud of himself. There are things that he said, oh, now I understand. He's 13 now, but he reads at about the end of second grade level, but there were some things that he realized, oh, now I see why you say this word, or now I see why you spell it this way. So it's helped him quite a bit too.
And then for me, I've already said it, but it's just that I love that every kid is successful and every kid gets that rush of, I've done it, and it's not...
I got another bar.
Yeah, I got another bar. You know, like, literally, they'll call us over, and those kids who need the extra attention, they'll be like, come celebrate me. And then we're celebrating them learning, but I'm also seeing it help. I have this one little girl who, it just, everything takes more time, and I wish I had more time to give her, but I only have so much. And she came in beginning of kindergarten level, reading level, and she comes to tutoring after school. She does everything she needs to do, but it's just such a slow process. She's kind of like Miss Swearingen's kid who did all the extra time, and now she's on level for second grade and even a little above. And this is a kid who needs a lot of extra time to like get those units. Like, her rate is so slow, but it gives her that time, and she's never like, oh, I have to go on Lexia. She's always excited that she can work on that. We're also working together. It's not that I'm just putting her on Lexia, but, you know, that it does giving her that extra time that she needs that I can't always give her. And so her being successful and ready for second grade just makes me so proud.
I would definitely recommend this to other teachers and schools. It's helped me so much, not only with reinforcing the skills with the kids, but assessing and seeing where they are and seeing the gaps in my teaching.
Yeah, I've used a lot of the other reading programs for Tier 2 because I tend to be more of the computer lab teacher who takes the kids and then pulls small groups from that. And this one, I find the data really easy to read. It's on a code 100% scale. I can understand that. I can understand the coding and
The pie charts.
And also when they need trouble, when they're having trouble. It doesn't say that they're having trouble right away. It tells me when I need to step in as well. So
giving them a chance to solve their own problems and figure it out on their own before a teacher steps in.
So where I find a lot of other programs aren't as intuitive, like they don't see when if a kid's having trouble, it might give them the same video over and over again. But this one's always working. Like the kids are always having to do something.
Yes.
They're not being talked at for very long.
Right, and what I liked, I was looking at the website last night, and it said assessment without testing, and I thought that was great, and that kind of sums it up because they're constantly being assessed so that we can help them out.